So to do a few more programs with structures, so let me take up that struct student we had started our discussion with structure, if you remember. So struct student, and if you remember, in a struct student, first and foremost what comes is the name of the student. So in a student structure, there should be the name, and the name can be maximum 30 letters. Even 30 letters is maybe a little too much, but okay, 30 letters maximum for a student name. Student will have definitely a roll number. Apart from that, a student can have his year of admission, so year of entry. If you remember, all these things were there in a student structure. And in a student structure, what else can be there? Roll number, year of entry, name, and maybe character, department. So department is definitely a character array again maybe maximum. Okay, so this is basically the student. Anything else, this much is fine enough. You can give maybe a CGPA sort of thing, maybe a float CGPA. A CGPA is the marks that the students have accumulated till now. So that may be something point something. So float CGPA maybe there in a student structure. It is always good to type def. I'm putting this semicolon because I want to make that type def. Always good to type def that struct student as maybe capital student. Why am I doing that? So that I don't need to write struct student every time. I can only write this capital student, and that will do my job. Now, what do I want to do? An array of students which I want to access, and then again enter, and then again output. I had done programs like this, but then again a revision through functions. So if you remember, then I can have a get student function. That get student function job is, it will not receive anything. It will create a student structure, This student S will be created by this get student function, and this same get student function will take all details of the student from the user and then return that student structure back to the main program maybe. So if you understand, I have defined a student structure, declared a student structure. I will get all details from the user over here, his name, his roll number, his department, everything I will get over here, and then return the student structure, the get function that we had introduced in the last lecture. So the return type of this should be what? Should be the same structure student. So student get student. I think this is quite understandable. What then? After that what? So I need to get hold of the name, the roll number, and everything. So I will ask those from the user. So what should I do? Printf. I will firstly tell the user name. That is, you enter the name of the student. I will only write this much, name. And that name I will get from the user. So I can do getS. GetS what? S dot name. If you remember, S is student structure. So within the student structure, name is definitely there. So getS S dot name. So name I have got. What next? I need to get the roll number of the student. So printf roll number. So that roll number I will have to, it is an integer. It is, I will have to scan that. So scanf %d, then ampersand. Ampersand what? S dot roll number. Now if you do a scanf, a good habit every time, fflush stdin. The next thing I will input is again year of entry, which is an integer. So this fflush could have been avoided, but as a habit, let us do it after every scanf. So next, what will I want from the user? I will ask for the year of admission. So printf year of admission. From the user I want this for the student, year of admission. So expected user will enter that. What will I do? I will scanf again because it is an integer. So scanf what? %d ampersand s dot year of entry. Is not it so? Once this is done, we are now left with department and CGPA. So before you do anything, remember department is a character array. An enter is there in the buffer after the scanf. An integer has been scanned, but you will be pressing an enter to end your input. So that enter will remain in the buffer. And if you scan or get a string after this, then that enter will be scanned from the buffer. So what to do? F-flush. And you always do this F-flush as a habit after every scanf. So F-flush stdin. Next is a character array of department. So printf what? Department this time. So this department again user will enter, and your job is to get that department from the user. So get s what? S dot department. Is not it so? Get s dot department. So this is the department you have got from the user. Final thing you are left with CGPA. Printf, you get the CGPA from the user, and CGPA can be a floating point number definitely. So a scanf is necessary. Scanf %f ampersand s dot what? CGPA. Is not it so? You have to get the CGPA finally. So you have got everything from the user if you check this. So after you scan everything from the user, the last thing to do is return. If you have done a scanf, always better that you flush the buffer. F-flush stdin. Okay, so this has been done. Once this has been done, I can call the get function. So maybe I will need an array of student. How to declare? We can go like this. Student is how many? Maybe 10 students. 10 students data I need. Student is 10, and for every student I will have to scan the this data from the user. So maybe firstly I need to tell the user how many students you want to have. Kept a provision for 10 maximum. So printf enter the number of students. See, C programming is good, but then again it is not ideal for such cases because there may be thousands of students in a university. So here if you go for thousands of students, it will not allow. It does not have so much of memory space in C. So for that bigger programming language, higher level programming languages are there, which we will learn later on. But for C, it is not preferable to go beyond this size. Anyway, so enter the number of students. Enter the number of students. So expected user will enter the number of students here, which you definitely will scanf %d ampersand n. Is not so? This many number of students. So an int n is definitely needed. And if you are defining an n, also define an I, because a loop must be there. So you will need an I to scan all these. You have done a scanf, always good to do a flush again. Every time a scanf, I have flush there. So flush the buffer. Now scanning each student's data. For that get student function is there with you. So you will have to call it n number of times. So for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What do I need to do? I will have to call the get student function these many times. Firstly, I should tell that for which student I am now going after. Printf details of which student? Maybe the first student first time. So details of %dth student. Every time it will scan, but let me write it over here. Details of %dth student /n, and this %d must be replaced by I plus 1. Why I plus 1? Because I will not write 0th student. I will write 1th student, 2th student, 3th student, and so on. Now it's ideal time to call the getStudent function. If you call the getStudent function, you don't need to pass anything, but getStudent function creates that student and returns. So what is the first student you are scanning in? The 0th. So SI, is not it so? In S0 you get the first student. So the first S that returns is for the 0th student, you receive it. Next time you receive in the 1th student, I will be 1, so S1 you will receive. Next time I will be 2, S2 you will receive. So all the details will gradually enter one after the other in your S0, S1, S2, the array of structures. Is not it so? So the scanning part is done. Now once the scanning part is done, I may think of now printing all the students' details one by one. After that, the simplest of program, which I will now make difficult after this, but let me firstly write the simple program, that is now printing all those students one after the other. For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, again the same thing. You now print the details of the students. So here this printf you can copy and paste. Let me copy this quickly. I just copy this, and here I will paste it. Okay, so details of the percentage student. Now my job is to print the details of the students one by one. Is not it so? So after this, what to be done? I will have to print the student. Let us have a PutStudent function also, which I will write. And in the PutStudent function, I will pass SI, that is I want to print the details of S0 firstly, then S1, then S2. Unlike getStudent receives the student from the user. So it creates the student structure and returns which you receive. But in PutStudent function, you will have to pass that structure which you want to print. So you pass that S0 firstly, then S1, then S2. So one by one students it will receive and it will print. So it will print those one by one. If you want to put a maybe gap or just to demarcate the students, it is good if you put a slash like this and a slash n. See what will happen. Every time before printing the details of 0, 1th, 2th, 3th and so on, it will put us this ending line sort of thing and demarcate between two students. This can be done. So now my job is only to write the PutStudent function. PutStudent function will almost be like the getStudent function, apart from the fact that it does not return anything. So it should be void PutStudent. Otherwise, instead of the scanf, there will be printf and all those things. So let me copy this, and it will help me to avoid writing a part maybe. So let me copy this and let me try to paste this. Okay. So this has been done. What is the next job? Next job is to manipulate. Remember, this is not getStudent this time. It is PutStudent this time. The return type should be void. And if the return type is void, this return s will not be there. Definitely not there. And remember, this PutStudent will receive a student structure which it will print. So it passes this SI, it passes one structure. So you have to receive that structure. Is not it so? So this student s does not need to be declared over here. In getStudent, the student structure was not there with you. You created that and you returned that. Here you receive the student, you only print its details. So printf name followed by puts.s.name. Same thing. Is not it so? I firstly print name followed by puts.s.name. Next is printf roll number. Now I will print the roll number. So definitely not scanf but printf. Printf %d. Here you need a slash n to go to the next line, and this ampersand has to be avoided. Slash n to go to the next line. So this f flush will not be there. And then printf year of admission. Definitely not scanf. I will just print the year of admission. So printf %d slash n again and not an ampersand. So this job done again. F flush stdin needs to be avoided. And then department, you can simply put the department puts. Slash n is not needed because puts automatically prints the enter of the next line. Next is printf cgpa and not definitely scanf but printf and printf %f followed by /n you may give, and then not ampersand because you are printing, and the flush has to be avoided, no doubt. So this job is done. PutS is only this much: name, roll number, year of entry, department, and CGPA you have printed. So this program should work absolutely fine if I want to run it. Just scanning a set of students and printing it using functions. So let me try to run it. Let's see. Oh, no errors at all. Okay, enter the number of students. So 3 students. Let me just do with 3 students for the time being. Details of 1th student. So let it be AAA. Roll number, let it be 1. Year of admission, let it be 2016. Department, let it be CAC. CGPA, let it be 8.5. So 1th student is entered. Details of 2th student. Name this time. Let it be BBB. Roll number, let it be 2. Year of admission, let it be 2017. Department, let it be ECE. CGPA, let it be 8.2. Details of 3th student. Roll number, name, okay. Name, let it be CCC. Okay, roll number, let it be 3. Year of admission, let it be 2015. Department, let it be EE. CGPA, let it be say 7.4. Now see, details of 1th student printed, details of 2th student printed, details of 3th student printed, and it has printed exactly the same details that you had entered. Remember 8.5, 8.2, 7.4, the CGPAs that you entered, and the departments you entered at CSE, ECE, EE, year of entries you checked 2016, 17 and 15, and the names are AA, BBB, CCC, roll numbers are 1, 2 and 3. So this part of the job done. Now I will show you in database like this. This is basically a student database that you have created. In database you have queries. Queries means user asks for particular set of students, not all set of students to be printed. Now say suppose the user says print details of all students of CSE department. Possible? All students of CSE department to be printed only. No other students are needed. So only the details of all students of CSE department. Is not it very simple? Just before printing this PutStudent, or details of the students to be printed, prior to that, you do a small check. You do a small check, that is if. Remember, you are in I, so you are checking the structure ISI, and SI dot department has to be CSE. Only then the students' details is to be printed. See, I want to print the details of only those students who are from CSE department. So very simple, if SI dot department is CSE, I will print that. But SI dot department is a string. I cannot just write equal to, remember, because after all it's an array. So for that, the string compare function is there with you. Is not it so? Because SI dot department is a string. So string compare SI dot department if it is CSE. String compare SI dot department is equal to 0. That is the return from the string compare function. That is SI dot department and CSE, if they are same, then the return should be 0. That is what the string compare function does. Only then that is printf and the PutStudent. Otherwise these students' details I don't need to print. I only want to print if he is from CSE department. So if string compare SI dot department and CSE is equal to 0, only then you print the details of the student. I think this much should be enough for you to print only the students of CSE department. Let me run it once more for 4 students maybe. So details of first student, AAA. Okay, let it be in capitals, AAA. Roll number 1. Year of admission 2016. Department not CSE, let it be C. CGPA 6.57. Details of 2th student, let it be BBB. Roll number 2. Year of admission, let it be 2017. Department, let it be CSE this time. CGPA 7.9. Details of 3th student, let it be CCC. Roll number, let it be say 9, random roll numbers. So 1, 2 and 9. I have given the first roll number as 1, second as 2 and the third one as 9, random. Year of admission, let it be 2015. Department, let it not be CSE. Let it be say mechanical engineering this time, ME. CGPA, let it be 8.2. So details of 4th student, let this be from CSE. So the 2nd student and the 4th students are from CSE. Name, let it be DDD. Roll number, let it be say 12. So 1, 2, 9, 12. Year of admission, let it be 2017 again. Department, let these be CSE. And CGPA, let it be 9.1. So only the 2nd student and 4th student remember their details. BBB from CSE and DDD from CSE, with roll number BBB being 2 and roll number 12 belonging to DDD. So see this, 2th student and 4th student's details are only printed. Details of 2th student, name BBB, roll number 2, year of admission 2017, department CSE 7.9. Same thing, details of 4th student DDD, roll number 12, remember 2 and 12, and 2017 year of admission, department CSE, CGPA 9.1. So you have only printed the details of those students which are belonging to CSE department. If you want to make it a little more complex, print details of all students of CSE department who has been admitted since 2016. Okay, so this has been printed all in capitals, doesn't look nice. Who has been admitted since 2016. So only details of those students who are admitted since 2016 and also from CSE department. So what? Over here only one more check. One, this is compared. One more check is enough. What is that extra check? To check his year of entry is more than 2016 or not. That is, and SI dot, remember, year of entry, year of entry has to be greater than equal to 2016, because all students who have been admitted since 2016. So I have checked whether his department is CSE and also checked whether his year of entry is more than 2016, more than or equal to 2016. Since 2016, every student of CSE department. So this thing should work fine. Let me try to run it again and see. Let me save it before running. I save it and then try to run it. Okay, so enter the number of students. Let us have 4 students again. So AAA, roll number 5, random, year of admission 2016. Let it be there. Department, let it be CSE. So this student will be there. CGPA 7.2. Name again. Name, let it be BBB. Roll number 6. Year of admission, let it be 2017. So that way it should be allowed. But the department, let it be EC. So not allowed. CGPA. CGPA, let it be. Let it be not after 2016. Let it be 2015. But the department, let it be CSE. So should not be printed, because though he is from CSE department but not admitted since 2016. So should be avoided. 9.3. Details of 4th student, let it be DDD. Roll number, let it be say 5, 6, 7, so 8. Year of admission is 2019. Should be allowed. Let it be from CSE department with the CGPA 9.5. So only AAA and DDD matches. Look at that. AAA is from CSE department and admitted in 2016. DDD is from CSE department and admitted in 2019. Other two does not match because BBB is from ECE department and CCC, though he is from CSE department, was admitted before 2016. So only AAA and DDD details will be printed. Check out, AAA and DDD details have been printed. Roll number 5 and 8, 2016 and 2019 admitted from CSE departments only. So you have understood how you process queries. This is a database of students and the queries are being handled in the students itself. We'll do more programs with structures and we will use more structures, pointers, array of structures, passing array of structures to functions and programs like this. So let us take a bit of break and come back. Thank you so much.